If you've been watching my channel recently, you know that I've been having a ton of fun with NBA 2K19's MyLeague, and I got a new series idea, and I want you guys to just tell me if you want to see more of these. And if you want to see more of them, make sure you guys crush the like button if we get 1,000 likes in this video, and let me know in the comments down below if you want to see the series and what team I should do next. But let me just actually give you the idea of what I'm going to do. This series is going to be called Championship or Bust, and what the gist of it is that I have 5 seasons to turn a bad NBA team, or any NBA team if you guys want, into a championship team. They have to win a title. Now, if I do it in 3 seasons, I get a gold. If I do it in 4 seasons, I get a silver. If I do it in 5 seasons, I get a bronze. And if I don't do it at all in 5 seasons, then you guys have to leave me a potato emote in the comments because I deserve it. Now, the first team we're going to look at is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are absolute trash, and I should know so because I live in Cleveland and, I'm a Cavs fan. This team really, though, doesn't have a lot to love. I mean, Kevin Love, no pun intended, is actually still pretty good. Tristan Thompson, we got to get him up out of here. And, I mean, the worst part is, our team is okay, but we have not a single draft pick in the 2019 NBA draft. Now, if you look at the mock drafts, I've actually used a draft class featuring some of the biggest rookies coming up in the 2019 draft. So we have Zion Williamson, RJ Barrett, Kevin Porter Jr., we got Romeo Langford, Cam Reddish, Naz Reid, I think John Moran is in here too. Actually, I don't even know where that dude's at. He's all the way down here at 27? There's some potential here. Now, bear with me, because if you couldn't tell, we have a lot of trades to make to try to get this team in good position to draft some really good players. So, Alec Burks and our 22 first-round draft pick for the 19 first-round draft pick from the Hawks. You got to assume they'll be fairly bad. And Alex Len. He's on a 2-year deal. Hopefully, we can ship him again next season as an expiring contract. But for now, this is the trade. We'll pull the trigger. Now, again, I need this team to be bad. So we're going to trade Tristan Thompson for Solomon Hill. Solomon Hill's not really all that good. Their contracts are basically bad, and you get a little bit of money saved with Solomon Hill, but we're getting a 20 first-round draft pick. It's lottery protected. I doubt the Pelicans will be there, but we're using it as a bargaining chip to hopefully trade up in this upcoming draft. Next up is Kevin Love. Kevin Love has been a vital part of this team, but I need him to get up out of here. His contract, again, is running low in this thing, so we're going to get the 19 first-round draft pick unprotected from the Bulls, Cristiano Felicio, who we'll basically get rid of, and we're getting rid of our 21 second-round draft pick, which will now give me 2 draft picks in the 2019 draft when I literally had none before. Now, as you guys saw, we got Alex Len earlier, and I mentioned that I obviously wanted to trade him. So we're going to get Antonio Blakeney from the Chicago Bulls. We took their draft pick, and now we're going to take one of their up-and-coming young players. J.R. Smith has been here for a long time, and if it wasn't for the finals, what he did last season, Cleveland might have won, so I'm a little salty about that still. JR, I still love you, but that's unforgivable. We're going to trade JR and Rodney Hood, 2 shooting guards we have on the team, for Montrezl Harrell and DJ Augustine. We're giving up and putting up a lot of money here, but Montrezl Harrell, in my opinion, is the prize here. So we're going to go ahead and trade for them, and Harrell should be a big part of our future. And the last trade we're going to make is to the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to trade Cameron Payne, who I don't even know how he's on an NBA roster right now, for Travion Graham, who's on an expiring deal, and the 22nd round draft pick. So the first season is over. Yes, we were tanking. We did a lot of trades, but let's see who won a couple of awards. So Russell Westbrook's your MVP. Rookie of the Year is DeAndre Ayton. Not surprised there. Sixth Man of the Year is going to be Thomas Bryant. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Your Defensive Player of the Year is going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. Most Improved Player goes to Yusuf Nurkic, who went 18-10 this season. And your Coach of the Year goes to Scott Brooks of the Washington Wizards. They were 60-22? What the heck? So we sim the playoffs, and the Toronto Raptors are your NBA champions. They beat the Golden State Warriors in the finals 4-2. And Kawhi Leonard, well, his time in Toronto, it's been well spent. He gets the finals MVP. So we've went ahead and run the draft lottery. The Celtics ended up getting the #1 overall pick by the Sacramento Kings. If you're looking for us, we're at number 13 and number 14. Not exactly top 10 or top 5, but we'll see what we can do with that. So I made a slight mistake and forgot that our draft pick that was going technically to the Hawks was actually protected. So we're going to basically be fine. We're going to have the 4th overall pick here. We're also projected to have right now, or not projected, but we'll have the 13th overall pick and the 14th overall pick. I can definitely trade one of these 2 picks, I think, for sure. But having the 4th pick would be great because we're not going to get Zion Williamson. That would be great. Kevin Porter Jr. would have been dope. RJ Barrett would have been really cool, but we're probably going to be sitting at either Cam Reddish or basically Romeo Langford is the guy that we go with. I don't know which one it's going to be, but we'll make a decision here in a second. So the NBA draft is up, and there's a huge shocker as RJ Barrett goes #1. What? I'm not going to lie, if Zion falls to me at 4, I'll be kind of happy about that. Let's see who goes to #2. Got the Orlando Magic up. Okay, they take Zion. That makes sense. Would have been great, but as long as I still get Cam Reddish at 4, I'll be fine. I just don't need him to go to 3 to Memphis, or I'll be like really, really salty right now. Okay, just don't take Cam Reddish. Don't take Cam Reddish. That's all that matters right now. They're trading to the Spurs. LaMarcus Aldridge goes. Oh my God. Okay, big trade. Who are the Spurs taking? Don't take Cam Reddish. Moses Brown. Everything is good. He's a 7'2" dude. He weighs 199. Boy, you better eat some potatoes or something. Okay, here we are. We're at our spot now. Number 4. We got to go Cam Reddish here. This is the only move that actually makes sense for us. So we're gonna go ahead and choose our prospect. Again, a couple guys. We could go Bol or something like that. But Cam Reddish, from what I saw, had like an A+ potential when I was looking here. His 3-point scoring is an A-. They're saying his potential is an A+, overall is a B, athleticism's up there. To me, we have to go Cam Reddish here. So Cam Reddish, you're the player we're going to build around here. Welcome to Cleveland. We've got pick number 13 now, and I'm going to go with Charles Bassey. Technically, his name should be B-A-S-S-E-Y, but because of 2K's filter, it has to be B-X-S-S-E-Y. We're going to go with him here on the 13th pick. We have him now. We got Colin Sexton. We've got Cam Reddish. We've got a pretty good group of young guys right now. At the 14th pick, I could go with the center, and honestly, I kind of thought about Bruno Fernando, but I think we got to go with, our boy Ja Morant here. And I think the reason is he's super athletic. He can shoot the 3. We already have Colin Sexton, I know, but what if you don't like Colin Sexton? This might be a reach. Some people have him at 30, like Draft Express has him there. Some people have him at 19. We're going to take him here at 14. Welcome to Cleveland. So to recap the draft, if a lot of you guys want to know who went where, RJ Barrett goes 1, again, big shocker. Magic ended up taking Zion Williamson. Moses Brown, we took Cam Reddish. Kevin Porter Jr. went to the Suns. That should be a pretty good fit for them. Romeo Langford, you got Naz Reid, Quentin Grimes. Bol goes to the Clippers. They're going to have him replace, obviously, Montrezl Harrell, who we just got in a trade. Then again, at 13, we end up taking Charles Bassey. At 14, we get Ja Morant. You move down, Jalen Hands went right after them to the Pelicans. There's some pretty good talent that went here. I think there were some people that I ended up seeing. PJ Washington goes here to the Nets. The Thunder got Trey Jones to be a good backup point guard, or Russell. I think those were most of the big ones, man. I mean, Alexander Walker goes here to the Wizards. And then if you look here in the second round, I think we had a couple big names at the top. A guy that actually slipped down the boards, I don't know if it was like an injury concern or something, but Jontay Porter was supposed to be a top 20 guy. He went in 17th pick overall to the second round. So that's not a good look for him, but the Hawks got a guy they maybe can gamble on. The Chase Jeter of Duke fame obviously goes here right after him. Now looking at free agency, we can see that Kevin Durant declined his player option. Kyrie Irving declined his player option. Jimmy Butler, surprise, surprise, declined his player option. There's some big names out here that might be able to come to our side in free agency. Now, because of our cap situation, we don't really have the ability to really extend any offers to some of these players, but it is what it is, and we'll do that for the next season, but we'll tank one more year. So Kevin Durant goes back to the Warriors, Kawhi goes back to the Raptors, Kyrie Irving goes to the Utah Jazz. That's going to be a really interesting team, powerful in the West. DeMarcus Cousins goes to the Lakers now to play with LeBron. Towns goes back to the Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler goes to Philly, just like in real life. Porzingis stays with the Knicks. Klay Thompson back to the Warriors. Kevin Love goes to the Bulls in free agency. It's a good pickup for them. Tobias Harris to the Spurs. Another good pickup there. Vucevic back to the Suns. And back to the Magic. And Randle to the Suns. So lots of interesting players moving around. Now in Season 2, we're doing a little bit better. We've almost won as many games as we won basically in the first season. And we're going to try to trade John Henson, Cristiano Felicio for Andre Iguodala, who's on the last year of his contract and is bound to retire, and a 22 first-round draft pick from the Warriors that's top 3 protected. There's no chance the Warriors ever have that top 3. So we're going to go ahead and trade for that and then use that as trade bait later on. Now we're basically the day before the trade deadline and our team is 27 and 27. And honestly, that's kind of crazy because we're not that far out of the playoffs, basically, which is kind of cool. You see the worst teams in the league right now are the Hornets, the Heat, the Bulls, and the Wizards. And in the Western Conference, it's going to be the Kings, surprise, surprise, the Grizzlies, the Clippers, and the Mavericks, which are top teams being the Suns. What? The Thunder, the Warriors, and the Lakers. That's so crazy to me. In season number 2, I don't think we're going to make the playoffs because we're 39 and 43, but that's still a significant improvement over year number 1. Now, your MVP was James Harden. RJ Barrett got your Rookie of the Year. Again, he went number 1 overall, so you would kind of expect that. Sixth Man of the Year goes to Enes Kanter, who's now playing for Philly with Jimmy Butler. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Giannis in back-to-back seasons. Your Most Improved Player goes to De'Aaron Fox out of Sacramento. And Coach of the Year goes to Brett Brown of the 62-20 Philadelphia 76ers. Now, if you're curious how it all basically played out, you can see again Philly, Toronto, Indiana were your top teams, followed by Boston, Brooklyn, Detroit, and the Orlando Magic. Milwaukee was right behind them, and we were about a game or so out of the playoffs, which is kind of crazy considering where we were in year number 1. On the Western Conference, you can go over here and see Oklahoma City, Golden State, Phoenix, LA, the Rockets, the Pelicans, the Utah Jazz, and the Spurs, with Minnesota just missing out by about 3 games or so. Your bottom team is going to be Sacramento, Memphis, and LA. And over here, it's going to be Charlotte, Washington, and Chicago. I mean, Washington just won 62 games last season, and now they're trash. Now, your NBA Finals ended up being the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics, and the Golden State Warriors actually just beat them 4 games to 2. And surprise, surprise, your MVP is none other than Stephen Curry, who finally gets over the hump and wins the MVP in the finals rather than Kevin Durant carrying him. So we get to the draft lottery, and the Celtics had the number 1 overall draft pick last season, and they get it again this season. Unbelievable. The Kings are picking 2, Hornets at 3, Wizards at 4, Bulls at 5, and here we are, 22 overall, because we got New Orleans first round pick. At least we have one. With the draft lottery set, we do have a second rounder again this year that we can hold on to, but I'm going to trade Jordan Clarkson and our second round draft pick to get the 10th overall pick. So now we're going to have 2 first round draft picks to make a little bit of noise here. So the draft is here, and surprise, surprise, as I mentioned earlier, the Celtics at number 1, and they go Jaden McDaniels out of Washington, the small forward with the number 1 overall pick. Up next for the Sacramento Kings, who are they going to take at number 2? They go with Brian Antone out of Villanova. LaMelo Ball is going to Washington, D.C. What's going to happen to John Wall? They got a new point guard. The Ball family's moving to D.C. A dude that I really wanted was Cole Anthony, and he's going to Boston. Now, the pick before us, the Mavericks ended up getting Vernon Carey out of Duke, and I really wanted this dude on my team. He was the guy that I was targeting, and we had the pick right behind them at 10. So I'm going to trade them the 10th overall pick for Vernon Carey, along with the 2022 second round pick unprotected. I don't care, you can have that one. See if they'll actually make this trade. We just robbed the Mavericks. Now, with our last pick in the first round, or basically the last pick in this draft, I'm going to take Josh Green. We traded Jordan Clarkson, obviously, a shooting guard. I think Josh Green is going to be a stud. He's got pretty high potential. He's athletic. He can shoot a little bit. We're going to bring him onto the team as our next draft pick. He might be part of the future. We'll see. So to recap the first round and highlight some of the big names, again, Jaden McDaniels goes 1. You can see the LaMelo Ball, again, goes to DC to play point guard now. But they had this dude listed at 6'7", 153 pounds. Get that man a steak or something ASAP. Go down a little bit. Cole Anthony goes to the Celtics. So the rich get richer. They got not only Cole Anthony, one of, if not the best point guard in the draft, and they also got Jaden McDaniels. The Celtics are so stacked, it is unbelievable, and I just am sick to my stomach. The Mavericks ended up taking Vernon Carey at 9, but we traded with them and we ended up getting him. So we have Vernon Carey along with Charles Bassey. That's going to be a deadly power forward center combo for sure. And then if you go down a little bit, Javon Quinterly got his life together, ends up going number 11. You can see Lewis King here at 14. The Trailblazers, Nico Mannion out of Arizona. I love this kid, man. He can ball. He went to the Suns. They were just a really good team, so the Suns just got infinitely better. And then the big pick, obviously, for us is going to be here for Josh Green, getting him at 22 to add to our roster. At the end of free agency this season, none of the big names really moved. Ben Simmons went back to Philly. Marc Gasol stays with the Grizzlies. LaMarcus Aldridge does go to the Heat, which is an interesting move for him. Siakam goes to the Raptors, or back to the Raptors. Conley goes nowhere. Sabonis goes nowhere. Horford goes nowhere. And Ingram literally goes nowhere. So the list stays basically the same. So we're in season 3 now, and here's what our lineup basically looks like. We have Ja Morant here at our starting point guard, 79 overall. JJ Redick is our fill-in at shooting guard until we get Josh Green basically ready to go there. Cam Reddish at 83 overall. Now he's improving nicely at our starting small forward. Charles Bassey at 82 overall power forward. Montrezl Harrell back again at 83 overall. Larry Nance Jr. is coming off the bench there, backup center. Vernon Carey is already a 79 overall. This dude is going to be a monster. Colin Sexton coming off the bench at point guard there for us. He'll maybe rotate a little bit with Ja, but we'll see how he plays out. We have Jetty Osman still here, Ante Zizic, Dellavedova, and Josh Green right now is a 76 overall. I need to give him some playing time. So we're going to take away some from Delly and give Josh a little bit of time. And then CJ Miles, we have Abrinas, and that's basically it for the roster. So it's a solid roster, a lot of young talent. I think we're going to at least make it to the second round of the playoffs this year. That's my goal. At the end of January in season number 3, we're the 3rd best team in the Eastern Conference, and that is beautiful news to me because I've been waiting to see this team finally progress. Now again, the Celtics and the Raptors are ahead of us, Milwaukee and Orlando are right on our heels. On the Western Conference, the Warriors, Thunder, and Jazz are all your top 3 teams. This is cool, but let's see how our teammates are actually performing. So Ja's our leading scorer right now. He's an 80 overall now. That extra playing time has definitely helped him. Charles Bassey with 11, Cam Reddish with 11. Nobody's really scoring a ton, which is kind of weird, but we got some pretty good spread across the board though. Season 3 has come and gone. We are officially a 50-win team. Now Kyrie Irving again on the Utah Jazz as of the last season. Gets your MVP this year. Didn't expect that. Your Rookie of the Year goes to Cole Anthony. He dominated in Kyrie Irving's absence. They definitely needed him and he balled out. You can see Sixth Man of the Year goes to Kevin Porter Jr. again on the Phoenix Suns. A great draft pick by them. Defensive Player of the Year goes back to Anthony Davis. I think Giannis won the last 2 seasons in a row. And then your Most Improved Player goes to Marvin Bagley, finally getting up to that potential people wanted him to be at. And your Coach of the Year, Quinn Snyder, again the Jazz winning 57 games. How about our coach? We won 54. No one really expected that. So here's a look at the standings, and would you believe it? We are the #1 team in the Eastern Conference. I'm shocked, believe it. We won 5 games in a row to finish the season. This is just 3rd season in, did not expect. I thought we'd be like a 6-7 seed, but we're the #1 seed in the East, which is great news. Again, Raptors, Celtics, Magic, 76ers, Bucks, Pacers, and then Knicks are your teams in the playoffs. You can see the worst teams down here are going to be the Miami Heat, Wizards, and Hornets. Not much has changed there. On the Western Conference side, your best teams are going to be the Utah Jazz, the Thunder, the Warriors, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Trailblazers, the Suns, and the Kings actually get a playoff spot. Considering they've been the bottom of the barrel, that's good news for them. With Minnesota, the Clippers, the Spurs, the Pelicans, Nuggets, Mavericks, and Grizzlies finishing at the bottom. So we're just going to sim this entire thing and see how it goes. I really hope that we can just somehow win a series. I want to get to at least the 2nd round. Okay, starting off strong. Okay, the Knicks are coming back. This is not good. The 8th seed is about to beat us. Okay, come on, baby, let's go. Okay, we tied it up. We advanced. We got to the 2nd round. That's good news. Playing the Magic here. They're the 4th seed. This is not good. 3-1 lead. And we got eliminated. So we got eliminated in the 2nd round, which is a monumental step for us. I wanted to hopefully win the 2nd round too, but it wasn't meant to be. The Rockets end up being your NBA champions. James Harden gets your MVP. Surprise, surprise. This dude finally gets a trophy of his own outside of the MVP. So for this upcoming draft, because we actually did really well and didn't have to do a ton of trades, we are picking 26 overall. Philly has your #1 pick, the Nets have your 2nd, and the Nuggets have your 3rd. So your #1 overall pick going into the 4th year draft is none other than Jalen Green. I don't think anyone really is shocked by that, but let's see who we can go ahead and pick. At pick number 26, we can't really trade out because we traded last year's draft pick, so we have to basically take someone here. But I noticed kind of a weird anomaly here. This dude, Cho Mario, is 7'2". He's 185 pounds, which makes no sense to me. And he has a wingspan of 8 feet 3 inches. This guy might be part alien, but we're going to draft him because of that. Recapping the draft, the top picks are basically going to be Jalen Green, KJ Martin, Isaiah Todd, who's going to be a stud, and I kind of wish we had a top 3 pick to go draft him, RJ Hampton, and then you're going to have Scotty Barnes for your top 5. Starting season number 4, this is what our roster looks like. Cam Reddish has blossomed into our best player at 87 overall. Charles Bassey's right behind him at 86 overall. Montrezl Harrell still at our center. We have Vernon Carey's down to 83 overall, and he's only 20. He's going to be a monster. Larry Nance Jr. is getting up there a little bit in age now, but he's still good. John Morrison, 80. Sexton's now an 80 as well. Jetty Osman's an 80. Josh Green has quickly gotten up to a 79, so he's progressing. We're probably going to play him over Alonzo Trier in our starting lineup just because I want to see Josh Green get some, hoops out there, and then Alonzo Trier can come off the bench and knock down some threes. Zizic is still here. Dellavedova is somehow still here. And our boy that is 7'3", 185 with an 8'3" wingspan, he's still here too. Now we've made it to the trade deadline, and as you can tell, we are the best team in the Eastern Conference, so we're keeping up what we had last season with a little bit of a cushion, about 4 games ahead. The Celtics and the 76ers are right behind us. Atlanta's there, New York's there, the Raptors are there. In the Western Conference, your best team is the Spurs right now, with Houston, Minnesota, the Nuggets, the Pelicans, and the Trailblazers behind them. Let's simulate the rest of the season. Let's see if we can keep up this good luck. At the end of Season 4, your awards are as follows. James Harden's your MVP, Isaiah Todd is your Rookie of the Year, your Sixth Man of the Year is Devin Booker, kind of weird that he's not starting, Anthony Davis repeats as your Defensive Player of the Year, your Most Improved Player goes to Trae Young, averaging just shy under 20 points, and then your Coach of the Year goes to Mike D'Antoni, 55 wins for the Rockets. Now the good news is we did repeat as the #1 overall seed in the Eastern Conference again, the only team in the East to actually win 50 plus games this year, winning 54 with 28 losses. 88 points per game is pretty good, kind of up there in the middle of the road for the top teams. On the Western Conference, you see Houston, San Antonio, Minnesota, Golden State, Denver, Portland, Sacramento, OKC, LA ends up missing the playoffs. And then in the Eastern Conference is again us, Boston, Atlanta, Philly, New York, Toronto, Orlando, and then Milwaukee. So here we are again, the #1 overall seed in season number 4. We can't get the gold, that would have been season number 3. We could get a silver if we just win this. So we're going to simulate the playoffs. We're going to see how we do. Again, I want to get to the NBA Finals this year, man. This team is too good and too loaded not to go this. Simulate the playoffs. Let's see how we do. A 4-0 shutout opening round would be great. Okay, solid start. 3-0, okay. Boom, 4-0 sweep. I like that. Who are we going to play in the next round? I don't want to play Philly because they're kind of tough for us. Of course, we're going to be playing Philly. So we go up 1-0, up 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. Oh my God. Okay. Eastern Conference Finals. We're playing Boston. They're always going to be tough and I hate everything. So Boston faces the Warriors in the NBA Finals and the Warriors beat them. I literally hate everything. And your MVP is Kevin Durant. The Snake is still playing for Golden State. Blows my mind. So with the playoffs over, going into season number 5, and here's the draft lottery. Grizzlies, Heat, Lakers, Clippers, and Mavericks are your top 5, and we're going to be picking, it looks like, I honestly can't find it, number 30 since Golden State won. We get the last pick in the first round. So with Memphis having the #1 overall pick, they go with Terrence Clark out of Boston College for the #1 overall pick. Dwayne Wade's son goes to LA to follow in LeBron's footsteps. Kind of cool. And with pick number 30, we're going to go with William Jeffers. This guy, I don't really know. Don't know much about him. He can shoot threes. He's ranked okay. We're going to pick him up. I doubt he plays. We have to win in season 5. So looking at the top draft picks again, you see Terrence Clark go 1, Patrick Baldwin 2, Zaire Wade again going 3 to the Lakers. Interesting enough, you're going to see actually Shaq's youngest son, I believe, Shaquille O'Neal, go number 7 to the Hornets. He's 6'11". Good God, this kid is tall. So overall, it's a pretty solid draft. Not too many names because they're pretty far out, but season number 5, it's make or break time. Looking at player progression really quick, we're seeing crazy overall numbers here. I mean, Cam Reddish just blew up on the boards. Charles Bassey's blowing up. Vernon Carey. Like, we've drafted really, really well, especially at power forward and center. I just see my younger guys at point guard and shooting guard to get a little bit better. Josh Green, though, it's time to put up or shut up, man. He's going to get in the starting lineup again this year. This is it. The final season to try to get a championship. If we don't, we're a potato. I need this. And we've made it to the trade deadline, as you can tell, 39-14. We're on pace to have our best record ever right now, so I'm really excited about that. The Pistons, the Pacers, the Hornets right behind us. In the Western Conference, the Nuggets are the #1 team, probably because they have Isaiah Todd and some other really good players over there. Sacramento, Phoenix, Utah. It's an interesting landscape change in the NBA, but look, I don't want to rest on our laurels. I want a good regular season, but we have to win a title this year. So we finished season 5, and here's a look at the stats overall, or the awards overall. Romeo Langford gets your MVP for Detroit. Patrick Baldwin gets your Rookie of the Year for Miami. Aaron Gordon gets your Sixth Man of the Year. Your Defensive Player of the Year is, yet again, Anthony Davis. Your Most Improved Player is Brian Antone, or I don't even know how to say this dude's name. And then Coach of the Year goes to Michael Stauffer of the Cleveland Cavaliers. We finally got an award. It's about time. So nothing else matters at this point except for the playoffs. I will show you guys the overall standings, but you can kind of get a gist of what it was. We won 58 games. We lost 24. Best record I think we've ever had in the 5-year span. We need to win the NBA Finals. Everything is riding on this right here. So we're going to simulate the playoffs. I'm going to cross my fingers that we just 4-0 everybody and get the dub. Okay, so we advance. We're going to play Charlotte to the 4th overall seed. And wait for a couple other teams to go ahead. Detroit and Boston are playing. Okay, we got a good little 1-0 lead, 2-0 lead, 2-1. Don't let them tie it up, 3-1. Don't let them tie it up, 4-2. Okay, we advance. We're playing Boston again. Boston destroyed us last time we played them. Got a little bit of a lead on them. Okay, 3-1. Don't choke it. Don't choke it. We choked it. So Boston ended up winning 4-2 in the NBA Finals, and we're just left with disappointment in the fact that we're a potato now. RJ Barrett, who went #1 over Zion, ends up proving out that his career is pretty good. He's only 23, he's a Finals MVP. Kind of a good feeling for him. So at the end of the day, I feel like we built a really, really good team. It just wasn't enough. I mean, look at this team. Cam Reddish, Colin Sexton, Charles Bassey, Vernon Carey, John Moran, Josh Green, Montrezl Harrell, Larry Nance, Jetty. I mean, this team to me was pretty deep. We just didn't have whatever it took to beat the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Not one, but 2 years in a row. But again, if you guys want to see more of this series, let me know. Leave me a like in the video. See if we can hit 1,000 likes in this video. And hopefully we'll see you guys on another episode of me trying not to be a potato and seeing if I can turn one NBA franchise into a championship winning team.